everyone, and good Monday to you. Hope you and yours enjoyed a pleasant Memorial Day today. The weather certainly cooperated today, unlike the first part of the holiday weekend. As expected, it was pretty crummy outside, especially on Saturday when we had the light rain and drizzle, and temperatures mostly in the upper 40s. Today was a cooler than average day, but only by a few degrees. We got to 71 officially this afternoon. 4 degrees cooler than average, but a lot better than Saturday, when temperatures were 23 to 25 degrees cooler than average for much of the time. That long stretch of mostly dry and warm weather during mid-month kind of seems like ancient history now, but those kinds of temperatures will be making a comeback as we go into the first weekend of June. All right, great looking day today. We had some cirrus and cumulus clouds in the sky for a time this morning. Then it turned just fairly sunny for at least the first half of the afternoon before clouds started to return a little bit late in the afternoon and early in the evening. All right, you know, if you are a weather geek or if you're just a longtime resident of this area, that May 31st rings a bell. It was on this date, around this time of the evening, May 31st, 1985, that the most infamous tornado outbreak in our region occurred, including, of course, the F5 tornado that touched down near the Trumbull-Portage County line, rolled across Newton Falls, rolled across Niles, rolled across Wheatland, PA, and then finally lifted deeper into Mercer County. It was one of several tornadoes in the region that day. An F2 in northern Columbiana County became an F3 when it touched the ground again over in Beaver County, PA. Also an F4 near the Crawford-Mercer County line continued over into Venango County, and an F3 in northwestern parts of Trumbull County near Mesopotamia. May 31st, especially in Pennsylvania, remarkably significant in terms of the weather. It was on May 31st, 2002, that a fierce thunderstorm rolled through the Pittsburgh area and produced a microburst at about 7 o'clock in the evening near Kennywood Park, just south and east of downtown Pittsburgh. This, unfortunately, led to one fatality, a lot of injuries, and some structural damage at the park, where you see kind of these yellow colors. This is the actual radar from that evening back in 2002. These are 70-mile-per-hour plus wind gusts around Duquesne and over towards East McKeesport, again, southeast of Pittsburgh on this date back in 2002. It was in 1889 that the Great Johnstown Flood in Pennsylvania occurred, and that's, of course, one of the most significant weather events in Pennsylvania state history, and I would argue for regional state history. That ranks right up there back in 1889, also on May the 31st. No severe weather threat around here regionally this evening. All of the action is out to the west. Parts of New Mexico, parts of Texas under severe thunderstorm watches. The threat for severe weather will be modest all week, but it will start to push a little farther to the east later in the week. We'll talk about that momentarily. Tomorrow is June 1st. It's the start of meteorological summer. We're going to do a review of May tomorrow evening on Weather for Weather Geeks, but a little hint, it's going to be the second cooler than average month so far in 2021, thanks to the cool start and cool end of the month. In the middle, we had a lot of warmth. But anyway, meteorological summer, I should say, begins June 1st, the 3 warmest months of the year. And as you know, we got our new 30-year climatological averages a few weeks ago. And with these new averages, our highest average temperature is now 83 in July. It used to be 82 in the old set of averages, but based on the data from 1991 to 2020, our average high now peaks at 83 degrees in July. Conversely, in the middle of winter, our lowest average high temperature, where we bottom out in January, is now 34. It used to be 32 degrees. As I talked about a few weeks ago, and those averages were released, just about every month and just about every season is warmer than it used to be, not only here locally, but in many, many locations. Now, we are going to start Tuesday with a little bit more in the way of clouds than we did today. I do think that some of these mid and high-level clouds will start to clear out some in the afternoon, a brighter second half of the day. But then clouds will increase again tomorrow night. Warm front heads our way on Wednesday. Now, I think overall the wettest weather on Wednesday, the most frequent raindrops, will be in central and western Ohio during the daylight hours. We're going to allow for a couple of showers around here, but I doubt it's as wet here as it will be in places such as Columbus, Dayton, maybe up towards Toledo as well. But then Wednesday night into Thursday, I think we'll see several rounds of showers with some thunderstorms as this sluggish front hangs out. This front will nudge far enough to the east that by Friday, we're probably drying things out and the dew points start to come down as well. Now, with the front in the vicinity, that warm front that is, on Wednesday, the Storm Prediction Center does have a Day 3 low-end severe weather risk across a good chunk of Ohio. I'm not real impressed with the severe weather ingredients on Wednesday. I think there'll be a lot of clouds. Not sure if we're going to get unstable enough. There may be a fair amount of wind shear, but the instability could be the problem. But the opening bid from SPC is a 1 on a 1 to 5 scale, low-end severe weather risk. We'll, of course, have more updates on this tomorrow. I mentioned briefly the dew points. They're going to peak with that wet day on Thursday. Then as that front nudges east, the dew points in the afternoon come down to the 50s on Friday, and afternoon dew points will be mostly in the 50s over the first weekend of June. The humidity won't be sky high, but it is going to get pretty hot. This trough of low pressure across the Midwest, associated with that midweek wet interlude, it fades away, and in its place, a building ridge as we go towards next weekend and into the following week. So the pattern a week from right now is going to look a lot different than it does currently. Big trough on the west coast. Downstream of that, look at this Mondo Ridge. This is the kind of weather map that's going to produce, I think, a lot of 80s starting this weekend, taking us into the following week, and maybe even our first 90 of the season. And it being the last day of the month, the Climate Prediction Center put out their final June outlook today. Hasn't really changed from their mid-month update. Odds favoring a cooler than average month along the Gulf Coast, and from the Intermountain West, arcing through the Great Lakes into the Mid-Atlantic states and New England, odds favor a warmer than average month, including around here. The precipitation signal strongest in the deep south and out in the Pacific Northwest around here. Roughly equal chances of a wetter than average month, a drier than average month, and a near average month. In other words, pretty low confidence on how the month will shake out precipitation-wise, higher confidence in it being a warmer than average month, and probably significantly different than May has ended up being. All right, that's it for the Memorial Day edition of Weather for Weather Geeks. We'll have a lot to talk about once again on Tuesday, and I look forward to talking with you then.